to Nikado Avocado's sudden slim down, showcasing he is a mastermind and potentially a supervillain on YouTube, to the 12 accounts that have had their personal information given to Japan by the United States court system, it's been a wild 24 hours. So today's video is a follow-up from yesterday's video, and to make a long story short for those that did not watch yesterday's video, basically, Japan went to the United States court system and also to Twitter and was like, Twitter, we want you to give the personal information of these massive anime and manga leakers to us for we can seek justice against them and potentially put them behind bars. That is what Japan was asking Twitter and the United States government to do, and it was revealed in a court case document yesterday, and this is a public court case document with 20 pages. This is an official document. This is not fake. You can easily find it because it is on public records in the state of California. But getting into the main point, basically, you know, this court case document is official public information, and now we know exactly who's potentially going to be facing charges. Now, you're probably wondering, why don't you see certain individuals that you know for a fact is massive leakers that everybody knows, why are they not on this list? Especially if your personal information has been given over to Japan. Well, this court case in particular is actually focusing from Aniplex and Toho, aka two big Japanese anime companies. They are not manga companies, they are anime companies. So this is more or less a court case against anime copyright infringement and leaks, not manga copyright infringement and leaks. However, there was something that was mentioned by this Twitter user here, basically revealing there is an ongoing active court case against something affiliated with manga leaks and spoilers, etc. So we're probably going to see more information about this in maybe 6 months to a year, and probably a lot of big names, definitely some big names associated on this court case in the upcoming future. I feel like more or less this ongoing court case right here, revealing these 12 accounts, is pretty much the first step and probably the beginning of the end, or maybe more or less a showcasing of force and an example that it is being made that if you continue to play with fire, you're gonna get burned. You're probably wondering to yourself, how did they get caught? Well, this court case document does outline how they were caught, and I will go over that in just a second. But one thing I do want to talk about is the fact, how does this affect you? Because honestly, after reading this court case document and after seeing the post and stuff detailing what's really going on, there is a little bit of concern even I have. Because one of the methods that were used to catch these said leakers are actually, in a way, it's because they posted a baked watermark image. And this baked watermark image could have circulated on Google, could have trended, and a lot of people right-click saved as or saved it on their phone, and have potentially posted it on social media to some shape or form. So it's very likely a lot of people that are relatively innocent and just repost content could theoretically wind up on a list like this. And I'm just like, that seems a little bit extreme, honestly. But I don't know exactly how the filter happened, exactly how they decided on the account names or not, but it is pretty curious, so to speak, on the whole situation, and I wonder how many people it theoretically could affect, and how the common citizen that just reposts some of these images because not knowing any better, they could theoretically face criminal charges if they just reposted a watermarked baked image. But getting back into the main point, one thing I want to detail here that is very important is that most of these accounts here, I don't know them all individually, I want to be blunt here, but I am very well aware of pretty much all these accounts. And most of these accounts, besides one in particular, are actually not even leak accounts. They are accounts that more or less are either reposters or people that just post staffed credit listing, which is relevant to this court case document I'll talk about. But only one account in particular on this list is actually a bona fide, genuine leaker. And it's fascinating that out of everyone that is on the platform, especially that does give anime leaks, they're not on here. It's pretty curious. It is legitimately curious. I wonder if they were used as scapegoats or not, these individuals. There's a lot of things I'm a little bit curious about. But with that being said, how did they get this information? Well, for one, here's the thing. If you browser Twitter, your public information is now on the site, and it is now effectively owned by them, and it's, you know, they can easily get it. They can easily give it to Japan, and let's explain why. So if you make a Twitter account, you obviously have to associate an email. Okay, fine. Let's say you have a burner email. It's not a real legit email. It's not even associated with the name. Okay, fine. Let's say you have a phone number associated with the account because you want two-step verification. Well, your phone number is attached to the account now. Let's say you want to go one step further. You want to get money from the platform, Twitter Blue. Well, you have to associate your full legal name, potentially all sorts of other personal information, your address. Yeah, you get the mumbo jumbo. So your now personal information is on Twitter. And even theoretically, if that's not even there and you don't go that step to get Twitter Blue, your IP address is on the platform. So what theoretically is happening here is if, you know, this information is given over to Japan's government, they know this information of the Twitter users that they're currently listing here on this court case document and potentially future offenders. But here's the thing, you're probably wondering to yourself, how should you worry? Why should you worry, so to speak? Because if, let's say you live in a country like India, Europe, you get the point, a different country that's not, let's say, in Japan or in the United States, how would this affect you? Well, it varies, obviously, from country to country, but if Japan does get this information from Twitter, which aka is a company that is based in America, it is a United States-based company, that means that they can have access to information from people from different countries as well if you actively use the Twitter platform. So, what this means, Japan will find this information out. They'll say, okay, you live in Europe, okay, and they'll know where you're at, thanks to either IP address or whatever, and then they will actively go talk to your government to try to get you to face criminal justice in the courts. So, even if you live in a different country, it obviously varies from government to government, but a lot of people think they're safe because they live in a different country, but that is definitely not the case with the information that is now being given. This is basically Pandora's box, the beginning of the end, so to speak, for people on Twitter to actively spread and get leaks to trend online, not just with manga content, but in anime content as well. So this is a pretty big deal. A legitimately big deal for those that think they can get away with stuff like this for a very long time and think that they don't have to worry because they don't live in the United States or even in Japan. So, let's get into the actual court case documents and what is being outlined here for damages, etc. So this Twitter user here has posted a nice little detailed walkthrough of what is going on, so let's get into this and let's read it. Toho and Aniplex, two extremely large Japanese anime production companies, have submitted an application to subpoena Twitter for information of accounts posting leaks. 12 accounts were listed and named, and the application for the subpoena named 3 ways they were identified. Number 1, unauthorized and infringing post of images of episodes prior to the release date. Number 2, intentionally incorrect information in the credits to catch leakers. AKA, what this is for instance, if you post staff credits, like who is going to be working on the upcoming episode, let's just say for like, let's think of a One Piece episode, okay? You mention in like a listing on a Twitter post, oh, this is who's going to be the director, this is who's going to be the assistant director, this is who's going to be animating the episode, this is a notable name working on the episode, you get the point. Basically, the incorrect information, intentionally incorrect information, is that the company Toho, Aniplex, and all them associated with it, they incorrectly, intentionally give information over to certain people to give staff credits, and if those staff credits were posted, they could easily identify the source and where the leaks are potentially coming from. So basically, the individuals, the accounts associated with this court case, these are individuals that most likely, even if they haven't posted the leaks, they have posted staff listing that was of incorrect information, and I know of a few that do post staff listings that is a part of this list, and even if they didn't know it, the point is they got that information from somewhere, and they can easily track that back to the source through that individual of who potentially gave them that information. So more or less, even if these accounts are relatively innocent, they're going in file, basically saying, even if you don't know, we know you got it from someone, so we want to know where you got this information from, and they move up to the next person. So more or less, like I said, it is just, you're going through all the different, directions and tunnels, legal ways and stuff to be able to figure out where these leaks are exactly coming from. So besides the obviously intentional incorrect staff listing to catch people, you have number 3. Number 3, watermarks that were baked into the episode to catch sources of leaks. Now, this is what I briefly talked about at the beginning of this video and why the average individual could theoretically worry, because the thing is that these watermarks that are baked in the image are probably very subtle, and only those that are affiliated with Aniplex, Toho, and probably working on the episode are aware of, like, you know, the actual watermark baked into it. And it's probably so subtle that the average individual might not even notice it. And so when some of these images or scenes are posted online, they can easily figure out which department or which team potentially has leaked this because of the watermarked images. So here's the concern for the average person. Obviously, images circulate online. I know for a fact I went on Google a lot to right-click save as images and post them. I've saved images from Twitter as well, and I have posted them. And it's like, you know for a fact there's a lot of accounts that do that. People that are completely unaware of this and all that, they're just wanting to post a cool image scene because it's really cool and they like the way it looks. And I wonder where the filter part is of, like, how do they differentiate between those that obviously just right-click saved as and are posting it to those that are actually actively leakers that are getting their source from somewhere? I'm legitimately curious because you know there's like hundreds of thousands of people that probably theoretically could wind up in the third category because they potentially save an image and they post it. So you get the point I'm getting at. So this is a little bit concerning, honestly. I am curious to see, like I said, where the line is actually drawn with this court case. But anyways, going further, the intent of the application is that because Toho and Aniplex are foreign companies, aka Japanese-based, they need to apply to actually file a subpoena against Twitter, aka to get the information. Why are they subpoenaing Twitter? Because they want to take legal action and they want Twitter to give up the leakers' info, aka personal information, which I already outlined in this video. The screenshot of the subpoena to showcase that, you know, it's real and all that. And here's what they actually want. So what they want from the 12 accounts is all documents that show the names of the users, their email addresses, emails used for recovery purposes, their phone numbers, all payment methods registered, all account access login info, IP addresses, access type, and more. Basically, they want everything. They want everything. And so, yeah, this is not looking good for these 12 individuals. I mean, like I said, a lot of these individuals might be innocent, but more or less, I feel like if I had to take an educated guess, this is more or less like a scapegoats being used to kind of push forward into the investigation, and I think this is leading up to something even bigger in the upcoming months to even the next following year or two, because this just feels like the beginning. It really does. And Japan has really been pushing a lot of these legal cases as of late, so I'm curious to see where this will go. But, yeah, just wanted to update everybody on the ongoings and what's happening. Pretty scary stuff. It is some pretty scary stuff ongoing here. But be safe, stay healthy, love you guys. Chibi out.